Do you have any nurse practitioner school recommendations? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Daily Sean. For those of you who haven't been here before, my name is Sean. I do a daily video on something related to nursing. No rhyme or reason. Probably not going to change. NP school recommendations. This is kind of tough, but here's a couple things that I would look out for if you're interested in pursuing an advanced degree and becoming a nurse practitioner. The first thing I would do is make absolutely sure that they are accredited. I think that goes without saying. Far be it from me to believe that there are actual nurse practitioner programs, collegiate programs out there that are not accredited. I mean, if they are, I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, theoretically, if you go through the whole program and they're not accredited, nothing will matter because you won't qualify to take your licensure or certification exam. I mean, that's just a big hot mess. So yeah, you kind of want to make sure they're accredited. Second thing I would think about is, what's their pass-fail rate for certification exams and licensure? How many of them take the exam the first time and pass versus how many of them have to take it once or twice or maybe 3 times? Just like traditional nursing school, the whole point of school is to prepare you to take an exam, sadly, but that exam kind of matters. So you want to make sure that the school prepares you appropriately to take this exam and to, actually pass it. Third thing I would look into is, how is the program formatted? Is it completely traditional classroom? Is it completely online? Or is it a cohort where you do a little bit of both? Now, the online, there's many benefits. There's a lot. You're going to have to dig deep on that one and figure out how well you do with online coursework, because I sucked at it. Online coursework was by far the most challenging thing I ever had to do. I am a traditional learner. I like sitting in a classroom. Doing the whole WebEx online via video cam, yeah, that's not for me. Maybe I'd take one class here and there if I had to. But if half of my program, 3/4, or all of my program is online, yeah, I'm not going to make it. I will fail out miserably. And last but not least, I would look into the specifics on clinical rotations. Who sets them up? Where do you get to do them? And who makes the arrangements for finding and organizing preceptorship? There are many schools out there that basically go here and you get to figure all that out on your own. And they kind of nonchalantly tell you about that. And it ends up being one of the biggest nightmarish experiences you'll ever have. If you are responsible for not only finding a preceptor, but a facility, and then figuring out if that preceptor and facility is actually affiliated with the collegiate program, if they're affiliated with your particular school. And if they're not affiliated, are they able to? Because there's a boatload of paperwork that goes into that, and it's a really big pain in the rear. Many nurse practitioner students find this out the hard way, and then by the time they realize that they have to do all this work, they're 2 years, 1.5 years, they're knee deep into the program, so there's really no way of getting out. And if you decide to leave that program and go to another one because of this headache, you're basically almost starting over. You're losing probably almost 1 year of your life, 1 year of getting through NP school. So you kind of want to do your homework on how clinical rotations are set up and oriented, especially if it's an online program or a cohort program, because guess what? You're not physically going to a classroom, so you're not physically going to a college campus, and therefore you're not physically going to be going to a hospital or facility that is within that local area. For instance, I know many students who do purely online programs. They live in the northeastern part of the United States, but their program, which is all online, is based in the western part of the United States. For instance, I know of a person who lives in Pennsylvania and is taking a program that is based in California. So you can imagine that that student is going to be completely responsible for figuring out clinicals on their own. They're not going to have a whole lot of help. Now, you know, sure, phone calls, internet video, things like that, but they're going to have to do all of the legwork to figure out how they're going to get through their clinicals. And you don't have to be an NP student to realize how important clinicals are. If you are a nurse, if you're a registered nurse, you know how important and how pivotal clinical rotations are. They can make or break your career. They can make or break your entrance into the profession. And that is not an understatement. Think about some of the clinical rotations that you've had in your past schooling. There are some clinical rotations that you felt probably a complete waste of your time. Whereas other clinical rotations were the bomb and you wish you could do more of them because you learned so much and you hung out with the coolest of people. So clinicals kind of matter. And if I had to give a recommendation and you're thinking about becoming an NP, I would reach out to anyone that you know is an NP, either in your physical space, in your local geographic area, or maybe an NP that's online that you trust or have created a relationship with, so that you can figure out what your options are, whether or not you should do this or do that. Becoming an NP is a very cumbersome undertaking, and you shouldn't take it lightly. I would do your homework. Do exhaustive amounts of homework when you decide on which program you want to do and where you want to do it. I didn't even scratch the surface of what kind of NP you want to choose to pursue. That's an entirely different bucket that we'll talk about at a later date. What'd you think of the video? Thanks for hanging out with me as always. If you found this video entertaining or maybe mildly worthwhile, I'm hoping that you'll head down below and leave a comment or two. And while you're down there, I don't know, maybe give it a thumbs up. And I would really love it if you hit that subscribe button. And as always, check your own pulse first.